Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Oh my goodness, static electricity. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, where I do this daily live stream. Yeah, based on the divination cards that I draw in the morning. It's just a little discombobulated this afternoon. I usually use our partners at BeLive TV for the live streams, and this afternoon, for some reason, it wasn't reading my camera. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to read my camera. So, excuse me, I need to do something with my lighting. Hang on just a second. Here we go. Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm up in my meditation room again, still broadcasting from home. It's like really cold. It was 24 below temperature, not wind chilled. So couldn't get my camera to work. So we're doing just an old school live stream without the third-party app, which is BeLive TV. So at least I can actually be with you, even though I'm not using our really cool way to be able to provide the show to you guys. And this is how I actually started this daily live stream back in May. Actually, I think I was using my phone at the time. And then I moved to my laptop to do the live stream. So it's kind of old school, a little bit. So, hey, everybody. I would normally show your comments on the screen, but I can't do that today. So Heather is here. Hello, Heather. And one of my sisters, Minnie Cansman's in the house. Good afternoon to you, too. And it looks like Rob Kendall has actually joined us, too. So, yeah, and I'm looking for the share button. And I don't see a share button. I wonder if it's not because it's not public. Is that it? That's interesting. Well, you know what? I'm going to use my phone anyway. And we're going to go to the main fan page and see if I can find the live stream. Here we are. There we are. So I'm going to like it, and I can share it from my phone. I should be able to share it from my laptop, but it doesn't look like I can. So I'm going to share it over to my news feed to let my friends know that I'm live streaming. And to ask them to please join. Oops. Let's see. Got to spell it correctly. There we go. There. That'll work. Now, the thing is that since I'm not using BeLive, people aren't going to be able to click into the show because it hasn't started over there. Yeah. So sharing is really, really important today. And so I am going to share over to the closed groups too. And just to let them know that they can still join us. There we go. And then to please join. There. There we go. And then we're going to do the Academy and the radio network. That should do it. That should do it. I appreciate you helping me with this. Yeah. Minnie is saying, wow, whoa, wow. Minus 24. We're in a balmy -2. Yeah. Yeah, it's, Heather, 65 degrees in Southern California. Can I come visit, Heather? Can I? It's this time of year that I'm usually asking Paul, or my annual question, what are we still doing here in Wisconsin? We have the entire world to live in, and we continue to live here where it's so flippin' cold. But you know what? It's not always like this either, so I have to give, a little bit of a break, right? Now, I was going to check something here for you. Oh, it's warmed up. We're in the afternoon. When I got up, it was minus 26, no, 28. We're now at minus 14. Uh-huh. Wind chill is minus 34. Yeah, it's cold. So, working with George and getting him to go out has been interesting. You know, because at first I thought maybe he would want to stay outside because, you know, he's used to staying outside and playing. But you know what? Animals are so smart. The first time he went out yesterday and it was so cold, he literally ran out, he did his thing and ran back in, and he's been that way since. And I remind him, you know, no playing around out there. It's too cold, too dangerous for you to be out there. You go out there, do what you got to do, and you come right back in. And he's done that every single time. Now, Paul did have to go out with him early this morning. He let him out, and he was watching him, and it's been so cold that trees are cracking. So, and that scared George. And so Paul had to go out with him early this morning. It must have been like 4 a.m. or something like that. So, yeah, it's wild. You know, the polar vortex, right? Yeah. Hey, Julie's here too. Julie Shumway Hill. It's always good to see you in the chat. And thank you for sharing and liking. Julie says, I ask about that all the time because she lives about an hour south of me. Where my hometown, our hometown where we grew up, she's still living there. And Jackie's here too. Hello, Jackie. Did he freeze to a tree? No, he didn't. George doesn't lift his leg yet. I don't know if he ever will. Yeah, usually he's playing so hard that, you know, he barely stops to take a pee before he continues running. Yeah, it's that puppy energy, you know. And Jackie, I thought I saw on Facebook, was that yesterday or today, that it's your birthday? Is that correct? Well, happy birthday to you. I hope you took some time to celebrate and do something special for your birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to you, Jackie. Good one. All right, so it is January 30th. January 30th. Holy cow. You know, time flies by so quickly anyway, right? But it seems like it's a blink of the eye. Blink of the eye. Yeah. So I'm in my meditation room, and for a long time I couldn't even say that phrase because every time I tried, it'd come out medicine room, and it was like my spiritual team was saying, you know, this is the new name for it, or this is what we really do here. And so I've told you guys, shared about it with you before, where I do my meditations. There's no window in here. It used to be there used to be a window in here before the previous owners added on to the house, and they added on a an office space or a library space, I guess you could call it, maybe a den, and then they added on a new master suite downstairs. So this house actually has 2 master bedrooms. Yeah, so mom is in the one downstairs, and Paul and I are in the one up here upstairs. And this particular room, I thought, well, we could turn it into a walk-in closet kind of thing. And it was like, oh no, this is going to be your meditation room. It's like, really? There's no window in here. Well, so I do all of my meditations basically in the dark, where you can't even see your hand in front of your face. And it has been, it's taken my meditation in a whole different direction and level. And I don't even want to call it level. Depth is a good one. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Kind of reminds me of the old time spiritualists, you know, reading stories about them or even talking to them, because Connie Shearwater, she was trained because she already had her clairvoyancy as a child, but she was trained in a spiritualist church. And so it kind of reminds me of that because, you know, they sat in the dark too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, and what's behind me is a Pendleton blanket that was given to me a few years ago. And let's see if I go this way. That is, it's called the Elders. The Elders. That's what the blanket is called. And so I hung it up here because I needed some sound dampening when I was first doing videos years and years ago, when we first moved in, which is going to be 13 years ago. And so I hung that up to help with, to dampen the sound, because basically I have the drums hanging up as well. I don't know if you guys want to even see this. Do you want to see this? Yeah, okay, here. I don't want to make anybody sick, but that's some of them. And then I have more in front of me. My buffalo drum is actually hanging above the Tree of Life one. Yeah, and it's my meditation altar. Yeah. We only have a few books up here, not many. I actually purged quite a few, and I don't know if I can get up that high. And down below we have a few more drums and some stones and crystals. Yeah. So this is the meditation room where I do most of my spiritual kind of work, meditations and journey work and that sort of thing. On occasion, depending on who's here, I also have this. This turns also into a bedroom. Now there's only a few people who have actually slept in here, and Minnie is one of them, and Julie Hedges is another. And I'm trying to think. I think and one of my nieces. She says, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to sleep in your meditation room. And all the drums are talking to me. and they were. Next morning when she got up, she goes, I know I slept, but holy smoke, that was loud in there sometimes. And so here we are, rather than up at the academy. So let's get to the cards, huh? Very interesting combination today. All right, so we're still using this deck, which is Angels and Ancestors, Oracle deck by Kyle Gray and illustrated by Lily Moses. Right? And we do love those illustrations, don't we? I do. Some of those pictures are holy smokes. Hey, Anne just popped in. Hello, Anne. Hello, Anne. And okay, there we go. So the first card that came, and move things around a little bit here, is this guy. Do you remember him? Now, this is one of the very first cards we got when we first started using this deck. Spirit Fox. And it says, trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents. Trust your talents in changing times. He is adorable, isn't he? I just love this picture. And the way she has the feathers in his mane. And in those feathers, let's see if we can identify some of them. Well, we have turkey, possibly owl. I don't know, maybe hawk. Yeah, I got some. And look right in the middle of his chest. Let's see if I can get it close enough so you can see it. It's kind of, I don't know. I pull it back a little bit. I don't know. It might be the lighting in here. It's a little bit hard to look at. There it is. You can kind of see right in the middle the symbol of, it looks like the sun. Yeah. Spirit Fox. Yeah, I like this. Oh, and look, it's also on his tail. I don't know if you can see that. It's like right here. The same symbol, but it's on his tail. So you could say that it's on his heart chakra, and also on his root chakra, right? Very interesting. So the sun, or at least it looks like the sun to me. I love his face too. Look at that face. Yeah. Trust your talents in changing times. In other words, on the bottom of that, I think, is trust your intuition, trust yourself, right? In changing times. When it feels uncomfortable, when you think, what is really going on here, is to trust your intuition, trust your gut. Yeah. And your talents. We've never really talked about our talents. We've talked about our gifts, but we haven't really talked about our skills or our talents. To me, talents are when we've studied something, right? And we get kind of good at it. Kind of like I learned how to juggle a long time ago, like in the 80s. And I still occasionally will juggle. It takes me a little while to kind of get the feel of it again, right? But I do know how to juggle, and I learned how to juggle. Um, they say you learn how to juggle by dropping them, and I did that really well. But that what it taught me was about rhythm, timing, and spatial planes. Okay, most people don't even consider that. The spatial planes. Um, let's see, something's not right here. Okay, there. I felt like something was going to tip over. So with juggling, it's a talent. It's a talent. Um, and what it does is that it helps you in your brain too. It's kind of like gymnastics for the brain. Um, and to be able to walk and juggle is a whole different a whole different thing. But that's a talent. It's a talent. I didn't come in knowing how to juggle. I had to practice it in order to get good at it. Um, And so to me, that's a talent. So anything that you've learned along the way that you didn't come in with, okay? And those gifts that we came in with, we pick something up and we know automatically how to do it and we're good at it, right? We get better at it with application. And we learn how to master them. But with the talents, sometimes we really have to work at it and really have to try. And for instance, for me, drumming, I love to drum. I love to dance to drumming. But to play the bodhrán, the Celtic drum, the Irish drum, they play it completely different. And I never studied music. So, so I had to learn how to use a metronome and to be able to learn how to play my big Celtic drum, my Irish drum, which is hanging right there. So that's a talent. It's not a gift. It's something you have to really work at. Hey, Tina's here too. Hello, Tina. And Rochelle joined. Hello on this blustery day, Rochelle says. And Anna's saying detail is beautiful. Isn't it though? That card is really gorgeous. Tina's saying hello. Hey, Allie's here too, Blanchette. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you here, Allie. Good to have you here. And Rob says you might have, but they didn't have juggling balls in the delivery room. I don't know about that. I was born in a Catholic hospital. St. Clair's in Baraboo, Wisconsin, in the Baraboo Bluffs. And I still get this feeling inside in my heart whenever I am in the Baraboo Bluffs or when I'm approaching the bluffs. I can feel them miles away. To me, that's home, the Baraboo Bluffs. The energy of it. Yeah. So the talents. And so we're using our gifts, right? We're trusting our intuition in changing times. And then we can layer our talents on it. And I would even add both our education, our formal and informal education. So if you went to any kind of post-secondary school, if you went to any kind of classes outside of school, whether, for like spiritual classes, there's other kind of classes that you can take too. Anything that you added to layer it on, because we don't do anything by happenstance or coincidence, right? Everything that we experience is all about our soul growth and our soul contract. So even though you might think learning how to knit, what does that have to do with my soul growth, right? But even with that, because I do know how to knit basic stitch, I really don't like making anything though. Why? Because it takes so much time. I don't have the patience for it. But I do know how to knit. And there was a spell there for a while that my team wanted me to knit. And I was going, no, I don't want to. I don't find it relaxing in the least. So why do I have to knit? Share with me why you want me to knit. And it was a different kind of meditation. It was a different way of engaging the mental mind and doing something repetitive so that my subconscious mind, right, that part of us that can come forward, that we use in meditation. And so it was a practice in balancing both the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, who knew that knitting would give me that? I certainly didn't until I did it. And literally, I used one skein of yarn for, I don't know, a few months. I would knit like a long scarf, and then I would take it apart and re-knit it again, and take it apart and re-knit it again. And then finally, I thought, people would ask me, so what are you making? I'd say nothing, nothing, nothing. This is a practice and a different kind of meditation. So what I ended up doing was knitting rectangles in a certain size, a certain size. And when I would finish a box full, I would ship it out to a place called Keep America Warm. And the people at Keep America Warm, which is a not-for-profit, they would send these rectangles on to another person who would sew them together into a certain size blanket. And these blankets then were donated to shelters and for emergencies and homeless people. And so they went all over the United States. There's a whole bunch of us making these things. Now, I haven't done that in a long time, but that is what I'm talking about. It was an exercise in, I didn't understand it at first. But even with that, the experience added to my soul growth. In the midst of it, I didn't know it. I was digging my heels in and not saying, I don't want to knit. Now, I know how to knit. I know how to embroider too. My mom taught me all this stuff. I know how to crochet. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, and doesn't mean that I enjoy it. But the knitting held a purpose, and it taught me about balancing my mental mind and my subconscious mind, allowing my subconscious mind to come to the surface in that alpha state. And so that they're actually consciously aware where we were at with the mental mind. So who knew, right? Hey, Polly Joe's here too. Good afternoon to you too. And Rob is saying good afternoon to her. What do you know, Polly Joe? It always makes us smile. Makes me laugh. So, for those who are just joining us, this is the Spirit Fox. And it says, trust your talents in changing times. In changing times. And The fox certainly has had its share of changing times. You have country fox, both gray and red, around here anyway. And so, you have those that live way out in the country. And then you have those fox that live right in town or on the edge of town. And so where we live here in Toma is just outside the city limits by a couple of miles. And so we're not quite country and we're not city, right? And so we're kind of a corridor for a lot of animals, and the fox being one of them. And we do have at least one fox. It could be a couple, I'm not sure because can't really tell. But they come through quite often. In fact, when I think it was Polly Joe's class. I think so. I think it was Julie Hedges who saw the fox out the back of the academy, between the house and the academy. I've seen the fox crossing the road coming onto our property from the academy. And so, they're used to changing, adjusting to their new energy, their new location, where they're at, their environment. And fox are very, they're not seen unless they want to be seen. That's right. They're really good at camouflage, really good at going unseen. So if you see a fox, they want you to see them. Yeah. I was standing in our four-season porch. This is probably around 2008 or so, 7 maybe. And I was on the phone with a client, and I could see a gray fox coming through the woods. And at first, and I'd lose it every once in a while because of the camouflage. It was in the fall, and so it was kind of hard to see him sometimes along with the grain of the wood and things like that. And either he didn't see me or he didn't care that I was there, or I was supposed to see him that way. And what he did was he came along our backyard fence line, and he slipped between the fence and the gate because the gate was closed. And that opening where he went through was really small. It's about this big. And he slipped through there, and then he came directly toward me and stood on the retaining wall of the garden. We were maybe 5 feet away from each other. I was inside, glass between us. He never looked at me, jumped off the retaining wall, walked down the pathway, the walkway, around the house, around the other side of the house. And then he went toward the academy before the academy was there. So the fox, they will show up when they want you to see them. And so they adjust to their environment. City fox, man, they still hunt dawn and dusk. It's just that we don't see them. We don't see them at all. And Polly Joe is saying, we saw fox when I was teaching her. Yep. You and Julie, I remember, right? You and Julie. And I didn't get to see him that time. He was only for the two of you. So question, Polly Joe, if it's okay to share, and if you don't want to, that's all right too. What do you feel that message was for you when you saw the fox here last fall? Because, when we see our power animals or our totems like that, there's always a message, right? Always a message. So while we wait for Polly Joe a reply, I'm going to take a look to see what Kyle Gray, the author, has to say about the spirit fox. It says, trust your talents in changing times. Stay alert as change is in the air. And he goes on to say that the spirit fox can help you to overcome the energies of adversity and unfair treatment. Also, the urban foxes hide in cities and go about their business in the darker hours. The fox offers the medicine of blending in. of blending in. So if you have change going on and you're not quite comfortable with it, or you're trying to figure out what is really changing, what's really going on, you can blend in for a while until you can get an understanding, right, of what's really happening. And how do you do that? You connect with your spiritual team, with your higher self, right, with the creator, because they're all on your spiritual team, especially our higher self. If you can, because that's us. That's just not this part of us that's out over there somewhere. It's a part of us. And so connecting to that aspect of yourself to find out what's really going on. And while you're doing that, it's okay to blend in. It's okay to pull your energy in a bit and to assess the situation, right? To assess the situation. Rob is saying, I've come across fox running, obviously some time ago. Yeah, and Minnie says, I'm back, phone recharge. Oh, good. I'm good. I'm so glad, Minnie. And Tina is saying, see less fox here, but mostly coyotes. That's a different kind of energy too, isn't it, Tina? So Polly Joe is saying, it was showing me the truth of my teaching. Even though it may seem hidden, it also was showing me that it was safe to look into the darkness that needed clearing for some of the students. Oh, that is, I was going to say, like, way cool. To have a power animal come like that to assist us, through you. Yeah. I know that we had talked about this some time ago, but I had forgotten about the piece about that it was safe to look into the darkness. Yeah, to help us to release it, to heal it, to let it go, remove it, right? Release it. So we got to thank Fox for that. Now, Kyle goes on to say that the energies around you are changing at this time, and although it may not always be comfortable, you are equipped with all that you need to survive this sensitive shift. You're being presented with opportunities to reach spaces you've never encountered before, and this can make you feel on edge, but be open to the shifting occurring because they really are the answers to your prayers. So you've asked for this. And even if you haven't consciously asked for it, it's also in your soul contract. All the things that we experience is in our soul contract. Is about the path that we're on. And so it's not a mistake by any means. It's not a coincidence. So taking the time to ask, what's really going on here? What part of this am I supposed to be learning about? What is that? You can ask those questions, and you can ask for assistance in gaining that wisdom, going through whatever it is that you're learning about. Yeah. And so Kyle goes on to say is, call upon Spirit Fox Medicine to help you be seen for who you are and trust in your talents in order to be the best you can be in these changing times. So once you figure out what the heck's going on and what your part is in all of that change that's going on, and then is to come out of the hiding, and to use your talents, to use your gifts, right? To make that application. Yeah, because it's all a part of your soul growth. So I wonder what kind of shift is going on. Molly Jo said it felt very sacred when she saw the fox. It did, didn't it? I remember you saying, hey, there's a fox. And Julie's going, where? And because you guys were out on the deck, right? And I was inside the building. But I think the door was open, or you guys had just gone out. Yeah. Fox. Yeah. So I'm just curious, of those that are in the chat, do you happen, well, obviously we know that Polly Joe has the power animal, fox. Could be a birth totem too, but it feels more like a power animal. Does anybody else in the chat have fox as a power animal or a birth totem? Because sometimes the fox has a bad reputation. They're very misunderstood. You think of some of the sayings about fox, right? Wily like a fox. It's like the fox in the hen house, and so it's like, or they're stealthy, they're stealers, right? They're thieves. Yeah. Oh, there's another crazy like a fox. Yeah. So the kind of sayings that past generations have had about the fox, some of it's not very kind, but there's probably some truth behind it, right? Depending on where they were at. Maybe they kept having their chickens taken or something. Rob says, I've been dealing with a lot of shift lately. Oh, so you're going through some soul growth, Rob. Oh my goodness, Carrie's here. Hello, Carrie. It's always good to see you, no matter where you're at. And Polly goes, yep, power animal. Tina says, my kids have the last name Fox. Really? Wow. All right. So they're carrying Fox energy already in their name. Interesting. Interesting. So they have the ability to go unseen, but they also have the ability to be seen. Huh. Very cool. I didn't even think about the last name Fox. And Rob is saying, not that I'm aware of. Okay. Polly Go, clever as a fox. That's a good one. Yeah. And Minnie is saying, Rain called me a vixen in college. Really? Yeah, in a good way too, right? Yeah, yeah. Has anybody seen a baby fox, a kit? They're so cute. They're so cute. Because to me, aside from the spiritual aspect of them, fox to me is kind of like energetic. Their personality and that sort of thing is kind of a mixture of a dog and a cat. Yeah. Anne is saying, I have a special relationship with fox on our property. Always see them, even had them bark at our house in the middle of the night. Really? Wow. And their bark is very distinct. Their voice is very distinct. It's not like you can say, oh, that sounds like, because it's very distinct. Rob, Fox News is not helping the name, not helping the reputation, right? And Polly Joe says, I certainly enjoy being foxy. Yes, there is that, right? There is that. There's a little of that 1970s, 80s kind of thing going on there. And the big hair. Remember the big hair? Yeah. I never could get that look. No. No, mine was always long and, yeah. Hey, Valerie's here too. Hello, Valerie. Good to have you in the chat. For those who are just joining, Valerie, this is the first card that came. We're talking about Spirit Fox and trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents in changing times. And, if we're taking a look at his feathers and his mane, right? And it looks like they're attached like around the neck area, right? And depending on what kind of feathers they are, they're adding to the medicine of the fox. And the one feather for sure that I know that's there is the turkey feather. And what does the turkey medicine bring? The spirit of turkey bring to this fox, right? In many traditions, Native American traditions, it's the giveaway bird. It is a bird that has abundance. attached to it because it's a part of sharing. It's a part of sharing. Yeah. And their babies are cute too. One time we were driving in Palm, where we had seen, turkeys crossing the road, and it was springtime. And he says, "Geez, he says I am in the woods a lot, and I've never seen a baby turkey fly. I wonder if they do fly. Where do they roost? When they're young?" And so, just as he says that, there's I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 baby turkeys flew from the ground up to like a bush or a tree. And so and they were so cute. But the turkey is a giveaway bird, and they travel in communities. In communities, usually the hens are traveling together with their babies. In the fall, sometimes you'll see them flock up. And especially in the wintertime, if you see them feeding in midday out in a field, snow is coming. Something with the weather is happening because they're getting prepared for it. We saw a lot of them just before this huge snowfall we just got. Tina's saying, I never see them in packs like coyotes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fox, they're actually more like with family. So when their babies grow up to not quite a year, they'll go out on their own. But so their packs are much smaller, much smaller. Yeah. And Polly Joe says, nope, run alone. Rob says wild turkey is 101 proof. I wouldn't know about that. With wild turkeys. So with the turkey feathers on his mane, right? So that one for sure. But there's other feathers on here that have a point to them. They're sharp on the end, right? Compared to the turkey feather. My camera is not focusing very well. And pointy feathers sometimes are, they come from like hawk, and other birds. I'm thinking about. I was thinking more like, blue jay feathers, but I think blue jays are rounded too. I think. But anyway, there could be some hawk feathers, possibly an owl feather on there too. So whatever those feathers are, they're also adding to his medicine. Just like when we wear things, when we wear feathers, when we wear stones and crystals, right? Yeah. And with the sun there, with the sun, he's got it on his heart chakra, and we're talking about on his tail, which is near his root chakra. And so he's got the sun, the energy of sun, in 2 different places, bringing it in. So Polly Joe, if we had the sun energy on our heart chakra and at our root chakra, what would that imply? Because I'm thinking, shining the light, especially in the root chakra, being, maybe facing some of those fears, or even the heart chakra for that matter, lighting it up. This little guy is bringing a lot to us, is all I got to say. All right, let's see. Okay. Tina says hawk feathers. I was thinking the same thing. The ones with the pointing end. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. And with the hawk, they're great hunters too, aren't they? Hawks are. And bringing that medicine of their keen eyesight. Hawk. The messengers. And I know A lot of people in the chat have hawk as their totem. Just looking at some of the names and some of the conversations I've had with you, is that many of you have hawk as a totem. Hey, New Joy's here too. Good afternoon, New Joy. Polly Joe says that your personal power is grounded in your heart and is who you are. Oh, I'm so glad I asked that question, because it adds another layer of understanding of what this card is bringing to us, right? That we have our personal power is grounded in your heart, and is who you are. So don't hide. Don't hide all the time. It's okay to pull in when you're trying to discern what's going on, but don't hide your gifts, right? All right, now here is the second card, and I got to tell you that this is a very interesting pairing. The Water Guardian says connect with your emotions. Connect with your emotions. Isn't she pretty? I love those different shades of blue. I know that she's got blue in her hair, which is really kind of cool. And she almost has like a mermaid kind of quality to her, a feel to her too. To me anyway. Yeah. So connect with your emotions. So it's very interesting is that we have these two cards. And we just finished talking about that sun, the sun at the heart and at the tail. And asking that question of Polly Joe, what would that mean for our chakras? And her reply was that your personal power is grounded in your heart and is who you are. So if that's something that you desire, that is something that you want to manifest into the physical world, that means that you have to connect with your emotions. And if you have some healing work around any emotional trauma, that you have to heal that, work on it, right? Yeah. And that Water Guardian, she always talks about diving deep, diving deep into those emotions. And sometimes those aren't current day emotions or even current life emotions. Sometimes they're coming from a parallel life or a past life that you need to heal. It could be coming up from your recent past, things that you have repressed or suppressed, ignored. I'm not looking at that one, right? Yeah, but if you have the desire, and you have, better still, you have um, that draw, that need, that you can feel it, right? That you want to carry your personal power in your heart and have it grounded to the earth plane, so that aspect of you is there for everyone to see and to feel, including yourself. So if that is something that is that shift or that change for you, know that this guy, the fox, is bringing that message to you about the change, the shift. And if that's something that you want to bring to the earth plane, in order to get there, you have to heal. You have to go to the emotions. Yeah. If we all did that, can you imagine what that would be like? A whole bunch of us living out of our hearts. Hopefully in a balance, right? Come on. Get my thing to scroll. There we go. All right. Polly Joe goes on to say, our light shining through. Mm-hmm. Hey, Carrie. She says, I'm not sure of my animal totem at this point in my life. Sprite. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there, Sprite. Tina says, water droplets. I know. Were they water droplets or bubbles? Because they almost make it look like it's jewelry, like it's a crystal or a stone or something, right? But when you really take a look at it, to me it looks like water bubbles because she's underwater, in water, surrounded by water. Yeah. Polly Joe's going on to say, I have hawk medicine and it's in my throat. Yeah, when you help us with the clearing work. Yeah, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when you do have the hawk come in, it really is some deep healing, some deep releasing that we're doing. Hey, Pat's here with us too, Pat McDonald. Hello, Pat. Tina's saying, mine is eagle sky and lightning in my throat. Ah. Now there's some medicine to carry. Lots of responsibility for that one too, huh? Oh. My plan is thunder, and I'm a triple Sagittarian, a lot of fire. Probably Joe, spot on. Love working with people with this. I feel like a water guardian. Yeah, you do. Doesn't Ben call you the water lady? Doesn't he call you that, water lady? I think so. We'll call this Polly Joe, okay? PJ. We'll call her PJ, the water guardian. Because you're right, you carry a lot of that energy, that's for sure. So, it's been. I'm gonna check in with Kyle about the water guardian to see if there's anything that we missed or that pops out. All right, so the message is connect with your emotions. Take time to understand how you really feel. Know that your sensitivity is not a curse, but a gift that allows you to receive and understand messages directly from your soul. Directly from your soul. So if you have the sun in your heart, right? So you're able to feel it clearly, understand it clearly, kind of like in the light of day, right? Noonday sun. Kyle says that the angels of water who can help you dive within to understand the depth of your emotions. So if it's something that you want to bring into your life, is to be known, to be seen, right? With that sun in your heart. That if you are healing some aspects of yourself on that emotional trauma level, is to call on the water guardian. Call on her and her angels to help you. You can ask them questions. You can find out, what is it that I have to do to heal this? What is this? Yeah, call on them. He goes on to say, is through helping you acknowledge your deepest emotions, the angels of water help you to hear the messages these have for you and unlock your intuitive powers and the energies of abundance. The energies of abundance. Kind of like turkey. Kind of like turkey medicine. And he goes on to say, your angels want you to know that it's okay to feel the emotions that are surfacing in you at this time. It doesn't matter if they're joyous or sad. They're all powerful messengers that allow you to understand what you want and need. Taking time to breathe and acknowledge them lets them flow through you rather than crashing on you like a huge wave. Also note that there's intuitive psychic messages rising in you at this time, and unless you acknowledge everything as it comes up, you may miss the important guidance that can lead you to support and love. Yeah. So don't dismiss anything out of hand, is to take a look at it. to pay a little attention to it, and ask your spiritual team, what is this? Why am I seeing this? How can this help me? All right. Tina's saying, I will message you to show you. Okay, thank you. Polly Joe says, yes, water lady with the God messages. Aw, that's a cute little guy right there. Oh, man. I to get my messages to scroll, and it won't scroll. What do I have to do here? Maybe I'm down at the bottom. Hey, Christine's here too. Hello, Sister Christine. All right, so for those who have just joined us, these are the two cards that came. Spirit Fox and Water Guardian. We're talking about how the energy or the medicine of fox can help us to bring forward that change or that shift that's occurring, and that it's about the sun in our heart chakra and in our root chakra, living our life through our heart and being known for that. And that the water guardian can help us to get there, because we may have some emotional healing to do in order to manifest that to the earth plane. Yeah. Good one, huh? Good cards for today. And when I saw the combination of the two, I thought, oh my goodness, what is this? How is this going to work together? What kind of message is coming? Yeah. All right. So you know that anything and everything that was shared here today, if it resonated with you, please embrace it. Embrace it. And see, sense, feel how the energy of the day is unfolding and where this information is helpful to you. Yeah. And if it didn't resonate, don't worry. It's okay. You don't have to pick it up. You can just let it lay. You're not going to hurt anyone's feelings by saying it didn't resonate with me. That's okay. There's always tomorrow and the card draw for tomorrow, right? Yeah. And so tonight, if you would like to join Star Nations Radio Network here at Facebook for Polly Jola Bay's show called Soul Connections, that's on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we say that this is an evening of healing and divine messages, because it's not really a show. It really isn't. It's all about your healing. Polly Jo and her team, what they do is they create the sacred space, and they hold that sacred space for us to do the work that we are intending to. So bring your intentions of whatever it is that you're healing, and Polly Jo and her spiritual team will assist us in doing that. If you've not experienced a Wednesday night healing night, come, because they can be very powerful, because we're there together in a collective energy. Yep. And you're not alone, right? You're not alone. So in the second half of that hour and a half, it usually is Polly Jo does a card draw. So if you're interested in getting a mini card reading from Polly Jo, she will draw a oracle card for you and give you the message. Yeah. And her record, she's got a record. 55 cards she drew in one night. That was a couple of weeks ago. Pretty amazing. Minnie is saying thank you and have a great evening all. See you tonight. Okay, we'll see you there, Minnie. Tomorrow, Thursday, I call it Elder Day here at Star Nations, the last Thursday of every month. The elders here who have live stream shows, that's their day to have their shows. And so we have Spiritual Mysteries with host Constance Shearwater, kicking it off at 10:30 Eastern Time. And she's going to be talking about Spirit's Choice. Interesting title. I produce her show, so I'll be sitting front row taking notes. And so join us at 10:30 Eastern Time in the morning for Connie's show. And then in the evening is the Mystery School with Carl and Ortrud Franklin. And I produce their show as well. I'm going to show you something. This is what we're going to be talking about on Thursday night. I get to interview Carl about his new book, Earth's Ascension, Nibiru and the Spirit Realm. I'm almost finished reading it. I think I've got like 10 more pages to go. It's a very interesting book, and I've got some questions for Carl and some things that I'd like to have him maybe talk a little bit about, like storytelling in a way. Yeah. So I hope you can join us Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Mystery School. Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, you know what? And I forgot. I almost forgot. There's two things. I don't know if you noticed, but in our closed group for Star Nation's radio network in the magazine, okay, I posted a poll. I've got 2 February magazine covers that I like them both. And when I got quiet to ask my spiritual team which one is the most is for the highest good to have as the cover, they instructed me to place them as a vote for our community, because it's important that that you guys actually have input with this particular issue. So it's the closed group for Star Nation's radio network. What I can do is put the link in the comments here after the show. So if you don't know where it is, you can always click on it. If you're not a member of that closed group, don't worry. Just ask to join and I'll get you situated for it, okay? It's important. It's important that if you would like to have your vote cast, to do that by midnight on February 1st. Yeah, because then what I have to do is take the cover and do the next step to get the magazine published. Okay, so I really would appreciate your input into it. It won't take you very long. There's only 2 choices. You don't have to explain anything if you don't want to. You can just click on which choice is yours, which one resonates most with you. Okay, all right. The other thing is that the doll behind me, somebody was asking about it, and I had promised that I was going to share about it. I will do that tomorrow, in tomorrow's show. All right. Okay. With that, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you later tonight on Polly Joe's Soul Connections. All right. And tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, right back here for the daily live stream. All right. Bama Mina. That means in Potawatomi, until we see each other again. I love you guys.